Now we are going to differentiate based on the body plan. Let us see how we are classifying. The first one is what? The cell aggregate body plan. For this, we can give an example: sponges. Example: sponges is an example. Here only we find cellular structure, right? Cellular structure. You don't get organ, you don't have tissue, you don't get organ and all that. Only cellular structure alone in this type of classification, body plan. Here, cells functions individually so that all cells form a group. Right? There is no coordination, as I said before. There is no coordination between each cell, each one individual. But only thing is what? All come together, form a body structure. That's all together. Right? Therefore, sponge is an example for cell aggregate. Aggregate means what? Joining together. This is another way. But each one is individual unit. Right? It is not connected to that. Right? The next is what? Blind sac body plan. Here, how to say, it is what is the speciality? Here it is the individual, right? Individual entity in this case. Here, incomplete digestive system. And also only one opening. What is an example of this? Example for this what? Hydra. Here example is what? Sponge. Right? Example is Hydra is an example. Now, so you have seen that Hydra. Hydra, it has contains lot of tentacles. One like this, right? Lot of tentacles, and the shape will be like this. And it contains only one opening. No, if you analyze this, it will be like this. It will go like this. Okay, only one opening. Through that opening, what will happen? Here it will take food through this opening, right? Undigested food comes out, right? Entry and exit is only the same opening. Mouth and anus is only one opening. There is recently some Hollywood movie also came. One person, he has mouth and anus in the same face only. It's a very funny movie. But the Hydra is an incomplete digestive system. Okay. See, food intake and food, undigested food comes out. That is why blind sac. It's a blind sac. Body plan. This example is Hydra. The next is what? Tube within tube. Here, complete digestive system. Complete digestive system, and also two opening. Here only one opening, here two opening. It's an example fish you can give. See example, this if you take a fish, right? It has a mouth, okay, and it is a one opening, right? Here one opening. the tube goes there, it forms a digestive system. Then again what? This another opening is called anus. Therefore, the food goes through this, get digested, and undigested food get eliminated. Okay, this is an example of tube within tube. That means complete digestive system or two opening system. Okay, see, in embryology, right, zygote actually develops into what? Further develops into morula, right? Okay. That means zygote multiplies and forms in the embryology, it forms morula. Okay. Morula is undifferentiated cell. Undifferentiate cells, right? It formed. See here, if you observe, this morula is filled with liquid. Okay. What do you call for this liquid? This liquid is called blastocoel, correct? Blastocoel, this liquid. Okay, this is another stage in embryology. In later stage, what will happen? In the blastose, there is a invigilation, there is a small opening will form, right? This, what do you call this? Called blastopore. This is later slowly developed into blastopore. That means a small opening or invigilation we call, right? See, now blastopore is formed, and this a small opening or invigilation will start. Then gradually it will be extending, right? It will extend. After some stage, it forms. It will end here. Here one opening and another opening. This is a slow developmental start. See, this is the starting point. This is the end point. Okay. See, now the blastospore, it becomes the mouth. See, suppose it forms the mouth, and this is the end part, the developed part is the anus. Then we have one separate name. What is the name? Can you tell that? This is called protostome. Remember, this word is important. See, if the mouth is formed at the blastospore and anus formed in this end, then this is called protostome. On the other hand, if blastospore becomes a mouth and the other end becomes the blastospore becomes the anus and the other end becomes the mouth, then what is the name given to this? We call deuterostome. Deuterostomes. In echinodermata, I will get all this. What is the example for this? Echinoderms and chordates are examples, right? For deuterostome. See, again, you have to stress on this. Example of deuterostomes, echinoderms and chordates. And you know why? See, if it is the blastospore forms an anus and the other end forms a mouth, then deuterostome. This wording is important, right? This vocabulary. Okay. Here, if the blastospore forms a mouth and we call this called protostome. And what are the category just before echinodermata and all what comes? Protostomes, all the examples, right? Therefore, be careful about this. You may be getting some question on based on this. Okay. Next type of classification is that is like fourth type of classification based on symmetry. First, I'll start with asymmetrical. This is what amoeba and all that comes. See, I said example amoeba and snail. See, what about the snail? Snail is what? It looks like this, no? The matured one, you can't cut into symmetrical. It's very difficult. Right? The matured snail, when you can't cut in the exactly in symmetrical form. Amoeba, because of the pseudopodia, irregular shape, right? It is very difficult to, it can take any type of shape. Therefore, asymmetry example is amoeba and snail. Next, symmetrical. Symmetrical are further divided into three categories. What is that one? Universal. That is what it is. They are like spherical or ball-like structure. That is spherical means what? Ball-like structure. And radial. Radial means what? It's a flat surfaces. And bilateral. Example are here vertebrate. Okay, later I will tell. That means symmetrical is what? Further classified into universal, radial and bilateral. Remember. See example for this what? Volvox. Right? Example for universal is what? Volvox is an example. That means you cut in any part, it will be equally half, like a ball if you cut. Or if you cut an apple, not apple, it has any spherical body. Therefore, this is called universal. You can give even a spherical virus, and there are so many bacteria of spherical shape. Okay. This flat body is the example. Common names tetramerous. Okay. Like a reptile one, common name for all snakes and all we call, no? This is called tetramerous. All flat surface. These are called radial. Starfish also comes on the same thing, the radial structure. Okay. What is the example for this word? Jellyfish. Starfish and jellyfish an example. Comes bilateral. Here only we get all vertebrate. Right? You get all vertebrate comes in bilateral. Here further divided into anterior side, posterior side, next ventral side and dorsal side. If you consider a human being, right? Okay. Mouth, which is the anterior side. Anus, it is the posterior side. And belly, right? Belly, that is front side. Then back dorsal side means that vertebrate, no? Vertebral column. That vertebral column on the dorsal side. Okay. Therefore, vertebrates bilateral kinds of vertebrates. It contains four part. All these four part, you have to remember this, which is mouth comes under anterior side. Don't write ventral side and all that. Posterior side is anus, ventral side belly, and dorsal side is vertebral column. See, anterior side only will get the belly. Similarly, anus side only we get the vertebral column. See, that way you connect it, okay? It will be easy to remember. See, if you consider a rat, okay, mouth at the anterior side, but anus at the posterior side. See, it is the reverse way. Okay, mouth at the, for this what? The animal. Man also an animal, but here it crawl like this, no? With the foreleg. It will not stand and walk like this. Here what? Mouth at the anterior side, anus at the posterior side. See here what happens, this, what is it? Vertebrate, it is in the upper side. Belly, no? In the lower side. Right? Belly in the lower side. That is ventral side. Vertebrate on the upper side. Okay. Therefore, it's quite complementary to the man. Okay. Therefore, for animal, lower side and upper side. This is for animal. Understood? This is front side. Anterior is what? Front side for animal. This is back. Understood? Front and back for animal. For man, top and bottom. Here top, here what is the top for animal? Vertebrate. Bottom, belly. Understood? You differentiate like this.